WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and our website, www.wvtcdetroit.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users.
You are tuned in to WVTCDetroit.com to the Sande Rose Show with your host, Sande Rose. You will hear the finest in gospel music, insightful conversation, and guests that will enhance you. The Sande Rose Show can be heard every Monday and Tuesday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific, live on YouTube. So get your pencil, paper, and shouting shoes and get ready for today's broadcast. So listen, text a friend or tag a friend and tell them to listen to.
O Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds that thy hands have made, you stood somewhere behind the great, grand, and glorious hills of eternity. Rearranged your agenda for the creation of this vast universe. You reached down with your omnipotent hand unto the great abyss of nothingness and threw nothing out into nowhere, and nothing became something. What a world we live in. Look at this world. It's gigantic and it's grand. Mountain heights with scintillating views, valleys scooped out by eternal hands, rolling prairies, running brooks, rippling streams blessed with gold, silver, diamonds, and all kinds of precious minerals. My soul sings when I look and see how God splashed a multitude of stars kissing the heavens like diamonds sprinkled against black velvet and hanging like trapezes from the roof of God's gymnasium. You placed the moon and announced for the world to hear, this is the queen of the night, and she has never stopped shining. The oceans, whose depths have to be measured in miles. The sun has never run out of gas. The stars keep coming out to play. The seasons still march in splendid succession. My God is real. He is from everlasting to everlasting. He even looked around one day to see what he had created and said, that's good. And one day, when he brings everything to consummation and a glorious fruition, when he comes with a shout of acclamation to take me home, What joy shall fill my heart when he calls me. I will answer, and I will bow in humble adoration, and my soul will say, how great thou art. For I know I have a house of many mansions, eternal in the heavens, up where Jesus lives, up beyond the atmosphere, the stratosphere, the exosphere, the troposphere, up where I'll never grow old, up to the streets of gold, up beyond the vicissitudes of life. And I will honor him as King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and simply say to him that is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy, to the only wise God, our Savior, be glory and majesty, dominion and power, both now and forever and forever and forever. My God, how great thou art.
Which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
The word implosion also happens in astronomy. In astronomy and Scientology, what you see there in the implosion in the heavens is what we would use as a dark hole. When a star is dying, a nova or a supernova, when a star has been brilliant for years, shining for years, and you don't know where the star went. You've been looking at it and you just don't see it anymore. Some people in ministry and some people who are on the singing field and some people who are missionaries have received self-praise and took it as fine gold and silver and forgot to offer that thing back to God and say, if it had not been for God who was on my side. And what we have seen is a nova, a star that was rising, going into a scientific implosion. They are creating an inward vacuum. They suck in praise like some egotistical, self-centered, self-centric individual, as if they needed to survive. They needed, sometimes we get praise junkies, people who can't make it until you are patting them on the back. They won't come out till you you pat them, and they won't hang around till you pat them. Sisters and brothers, it causes a spiritual implosion. Psychological analysts say when a person is imploding or in the process of implosion, one of the writers say there, which is a scholar in his own field of science by the name of Levin, says this about implosion. When a person is imploding, they become fearful of losing, fearful of being behind the scenes. They fear others getting praise, or they fear that someone else is going to walk away with the cap and the ball and the game. They feel like somebody else is going to be set high on the shelf and they're going to into demotion, and people don't see them on the front line, so something has gone all wrong. No. What the scientists will do, which is in the science of psychology, they take the person who is imploding and set them in the midst of their fear, and they cannot deny that they have the fear, because to deny you have the fear of being wanting to be seen or known or have a great name or being some important somebody. They make you deal with your fears to reverse the implode. Sisters and brothers, most of the times we hide them by still covering them and layering them with accolades and praise. When you layer a believer with false praise or false idealisms that they are this wonderful person that they cannot do without. I can't do without you. You are my right hand, my left hand. You're my eyes, my feet, my heart. Sweetheart, you are lying, and the truth is not in you. The only one we cannot do without is God. He said, I will not, I shall. They could not
all right. God raised him up and he got up with all power in his hands. And I'm going to have to ask Donald, who was that in there that sounded like Dorothy Norwood? It's like I heard Dorothy Norwood.
Okay.
But we want to welcome everybody to today's installment of the Sandy Rose Show. And I am Sandy Rose, and you are?
I am Teresa Acton. Good to see everybody.
All right, all right. And we've got Richard out there somewhere on assignment. And and we are yet praying for Pastor Jackie. I don't know if she's out today doing some pastor duties. But we will see momentarily. But we want to say hello to everybody. How's it going? You didn't hang with us yesterday, so how's it going?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Just going through the day. That's
Oh,
about it. Really, there's not a thing going on. That's all I can say.
see, we need to send you back to work. You had way more to talk about when you were working.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. We need to send you to work, but we have a lot of announcements. We do have a guest today. And if you are considering a small business, or if you have a business, or if you have a large business and you want to get into grant writing or see about the grants, our guest today is real handy with that. So you want to hang with us and get that information from our guest. We have, by way of announcements, and we're going to get them in now, just in case we don't get them in at the end of the show. We want to make sure that we give our condolences to none other than the Gresham Nunley family. That's Kim Cook, Kevin Stewart, his mom and dad, all of them are related. And at the homegoing of Elaine Gresham Nunley, and that's going to be, the visitation is going to be Friday, this Friday, and then the homegoing service is going to be Saturday at 11 and 12. And let's see if we can move some stuff around so we can see. And it's going to be at the Trinity Missionary Baptist Church there in Pontiac. And they are asking that those who are members of the choir, if you would not mind, please join them. Everything that you need to know to be a member of that choir, the memorial choir that we'll be singing Saturday, is on the GMWA Detroit chapter Facebook page. And you will see what they are wearing, what time you're supposed to be there, and all of that information. So we are still praying for them. Also, we are mourning the homegoing of Lavelle Nero's mother, who is Deaconess Marion Neely, and her services will also be on this Saturday. And that writing is a long way away. Oh, it's okay. It's going to be at Oakland Avenue. So that's Lena's church right there on Harper in Detroit. And that the homegoing services there will be at the family hours at 10:30, and the homegoing is at 11. If you want to visit, the arrangements are entrusted to the Swanson Funeral Home, 806 East Grand Boulevard. Also, by way of bereavement announcements, we have an announcement for none other than Bishop Dr. Patricia Ann Smothers, whose homegoing will be on this Saturday as well. Family hours at 10:30, and the homegoing is at 11 o'clock. And it's going to be right there at the Greater Emmanuel Temple of Deliverance on 2nd and Seward, right in Detroit. Bishop Eric Mitchell is the pastor of that church. And we want to send our condolences to all of our friends Dr. Smothers she was a original voice of Tabernacle. So she has been around for many, many years, and she sang with Reverend Cleveland and the Voices of Tabernacle. And we all know that you are VOT for life. So we will be there to celebrate that service with her. Reverend Pat, I mean, we played ball with her. We played tennis with her. We typed for her. It's just so much, and it's so many memories, and we go back a long, long way. So a lot of memories there. So we are yet praying for that family. Let's see. Uh, what else do we have here? Um, another thing that we are praying for, we'll give the other announcement later on at halftime. But another thing we are praying for is Jamaica. Yeah, that's one of my favorite places on the planet is
To
Jamaica.
go.
I just love to go and just lay on the beach. And just to see the cars were up all the way to the roof with water.
Hmm.
A Cat 5, and I don't think a Cat 5 has struck them in years, decades. So we are praying for them.
Well, certainly, obviously, like you said, it's a great vacation spot, and so not only are they losing their own homes, but the revenue that comes in from the tourists, which just makes it doubly important, doubly devastating for
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's I was looking on Facebook earlier, and a couple people said that their family members were there and they were stuck. And
Hmm.
if you didn't get out by, let's say, last Friday, that ship would have sailed. Um,
Hmm.
and some of them are sitting right there. And to be in a strange place like that, and they don't have the most modern conveniences all the way around. We
Hmm.
we do, and it still floods,
Right.
and the streets are still bad. So we know they're dealing with a lot of issues, and they don't have a lot of the conveniences. So we want to make sure that we keep them in our thoughts and our prayers, especially the people who are stuck there.
Hmm.
The folks
And
that
they
are
were,
there, that their houses and stuff are gone.
and I just hated when they said on the news that if you didn't get out, you got to ride it out.
Right.
And so it's like, man, that's just so hard to hear because even with when, we have problems with Florida, as we are having problems with Florida now as well. But there are people who are saying, I'm going to stay with my home, or even in California, no, I'm going to stay with my home. Um, but that's a tall order, because you don't know what really is going to happen.
No, you don't. And you look up and you've got the government on strike. So that means a lot of flights are delayed or just canceled because the airline controllers didn't come to
Can't
work.
get there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't come to work for whatever reason. And I mean, how long are you going to come to work and not get paid? And he's saying before it was, at least I know I'll get a check.
Hmm. Hmm.
At the end, when all of this is over, I'll get one lump sum and then we can go on. But he's saying, well, some of them not going to get a check. So we're praying for the government workers, people who went to the government thinking that would be stability.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if you go and you work for the government, you're good, you're good. You can get 30 years and it'll be all right. And now it's just not that anymore. So we are praying for the government workers. We're praying for everybody at the airport. I noticed the TSA workers at the airport, and the ones that I came in contact with, I quietly thank them for coming
Hmm.
to work, you know,
Right. Right.
because my whole thing would have been thrown off had they not come to work.
Now, what kind of attitude did you encounter? Now, I think right now was maybe a little bit uh, different than maybe when you came in, but what kind of vibe did you get from them?
They weren't mad or anything, and it didn't seem, and what got me was each time I went through, it was during the changing of the shift. So I think it had to be like about 3 o'clock or something, and I was going through the line and everybody was changing shifts. So at least when they changed the shifts, there was somebody to come and relieve,
Hmm.
whoever it was. But yeah, they seem to have good attitudes, and there appears to be some donors that are out there, donating money
Hmm.
to help pay
Food.
some of the workers, the food, all of that, because we know the SNAP benefits, I guess they'll end Friday as well. So
Hmm.
this,
November 1st, they gone.
people don't understand, and sometimes you try to put one person in a trick bag and you end up putting your own self in one.
Mhm.
And most of the people that are receiving SNAP benefits are not who they think it is.
Right.
No.
I don't know. What I want to commend, and I put this on my page, and I found out the daughter of my best friend is a counselor at a school here in Lexington, and they have set up uh, a food bank for people for their community in that area, and there are other people who are doing the same thing. I mean, that's what the community is going to have to come together, to help one another if the government is not going to do it.
That's right. That's right. And we were at a church Sunday. Dr. Myra Tyler was speaking at a church, and she invited me to come and hear her speaking. And sometimes when people invite you, if they never tell you no, it's difficult for you to tell them no, especially without an excuse. So I went to the church, and I was pleasantly surprised to hear the pastor of that church say that they were collecting money for a big Thanksgiving. First, they were collecting canned goods and food, and then they said after let's say Friday, then they'll assess what they have, and then they'll get the money and make up the difference. But they told how many families that they feed, and then he also went on to say that their church is a polling station for the upcoming election on the 4th.
Mhm.
So he said, we always either provide lunch or dinner or breakfast, something for the workers. He said, because people that work at the polls now, it's dangerous. It's more
Well,
than a notion. Before, you just went to get the $100, or, or just was, I'm going to do my civic duty. Now, if you working at the poll, you can get doxxed. People follow you home, all kinds of stuff. Um,
basically,
Unnecessary foolery.
yeah.
So we want to send a special prayer out. We'll make sure that Prophet Keisha and Press Ministries send special prayers up for those people that are working at the polls, because it's not what it used to be.
No, I mean this crazy stuff with the January 6th and all that kind of stuff, the very crazy stuff. It was a mess, as we know, and like you said, we can't take for granted that kind of situation.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, we know what happened with the two ladies
But
down south with Rudy Giuliani and everything. They were getting pizza sent to their house. They couldn't really go home. And all they did was come to do their civic duty. They weren't trying to be wonderful. They just wanted to work the polls. So we're praying for everybody that is out there that's working. And for everybody else, either go vote, get your absentee ballots in, do what you need to do, but make sure you vote. That's all we have left. And we're on a slippery slope that is greased up with Vaseline. So we're gonna need to get on the stick to make something happen, because they're working. They've got plans going. I haven't heard our plans yet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We've been definitely been taken by surprise. That's
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we're kind of stunned really. And I don't really know how this is going to work out because I mean, I think the Democrats are, holding out for a good reason so that, people don't lose their benefits, but they're going to end up losing benefits anyway. It seems like. And I can't see how the Republicans are just, putting a smile on their face and say, well, we're just going to blame the Democrats. And um, while these people there's lives that have been turned upside down. And it's like
Upside,
they don't care.
yeah,
Yeah.
upside down. And it's I don't know how much longer we could go on, but again, the Bible speaks to this, and now is a good time to put your hand in the hand of the man that still the waters. And he will calm your spirit during this tumultuous season. So while we are here, let's do our we'll do our weather, and then we'll go forth because we do have a guest today. She has some wonderful information, and we are here for the information. Let's see, we've got Michael Peters. He said, it's just cold. He said, don't even, it's just cold. Okay. And James says it's 53 degrees. And James, we are gonna work on getting Master Hilton Rawls on the show. Amen. Let's see. Larry says it's 56, and it feels like 53. If when I came in here, it felt like 102, but that ain't none of my business because somebody in here be cold. But I ain't got nothing to say about that. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hallie is here in Detroit. She says that it is 57 degrees outside. Amen. We've got Lena Lean. She is in Shelby Township. She says that it is 57 degrees there as well. We've got Roosevelt, who is there in the Chicago area. And we know he's got 57 because they are that close to us. They are that close to us. Let's see. Roxy. She says she's in Phoenix and she's got 91. That's the pick city of the day, I think. 91 degrees. We've got you, Teresa, and let's see, that's 55 degrees there in Lexington, Kentucky. We got Brenda Rubin there in the Bay Area, and she says it is 72 degrees and it's windy. And yes, we are praying for Jamaica. And we know this is probably not your kind of weather because 72 is a little warm. She like it cold and wet. And I think that is okay. They want to know what is the weather in Detroit. Okay, it's 57. Yeah, it's 57. And the sun was shining on both sides of the street. Yep. Yep. And Brenda, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Yep. Yep. Heartlessness. Yep. Yep. Amen. Amen. So we do have a guest today.
Yes, we do. And our guest is Monique Iverson. She is a distinguished small business financial consultant, nonprofit strategist, and founder and CEO of MI Partners Financial Services. With more than 30 years of experience, she's built deep expertise in financial consulting, business development, grant writing, and nonprofit funding strategies. Monique is an active leader in economic and workforce development. As chair ambassador with the Black Chamber of Commerce Inland Empire, She advocates for minority-owned business growth, networking, and entrepreneurial education. She also organizes monthly community job fairs in partnership with San Bernardino County Workforce Development, connecting local businesses, job seekers, and organizations to expand employment opportunities. Her dedication to community service has earned her numerous honors, including the Nonprofit Excellence Award for her contributions to the Fontana and San Bernardino communities. I was trying to say county, but that's not county. It's communities, and recognition from the Black Chamber of Commerce Inland Empire. Monique graduated magna cum laude from the University of Phoenix in 2023 with a BS in business management and is completing her MPA in nonprofit management at Grand Canyon University, where she maintains a 4.0 GPA. She is also a member of the Alpha Chi Honor Society, recognizing the nation's top 10 students. Passionate about nonprofit funding, donor engagement, and community development, Monique is dedicated to reshaping funding models to better support. This is so small. These letters are so small. Support underserved entrepreneurs and organizations. Beyond her professional work, she values faith, family, and mentorship, believing that leadership and financial literacy are key to transforming communities. And I do apologize again. It is so small to see, but we're certainly glad to have Monique Iverson as our guest today. Welcome to the show, Monique Iverson.
Amen. Amen. And we are happy to have her. And we're going to go and listen to a little bit of music. And we're going to take y'all back today. This is, I felt Reverend Mother walking through the room. So we're going to do Like a Tree. And this is GMWA. The National Choir will be right back after this.
Billows and storm clouds continue to roll. Hey, I will stand, yes I will, like a tree planted by the water.
That was none other than the Gospel Music Workshop of America. And this time I don't get a chance to say the Detroit chapter because that was the national choir. And yes, Michael Peters, that was none other than Dr. Margaret DeRoe. That was one of her compositions. And you said it was melody singing. So I'm going to agree. All right. But we have a special guest today who is then Monique Iverson.
Hello.
She's got over 30 years of experience guiding nonprofits and small businesses and government agencies toward financial stability and growth. And she helped to secure over $67 million. I said, now, wait a minute. We need to talk to sister because she got some information for us. So that's $67 million in funding. So Monique, how are you today?
I am well. How is everyone today?
We're doing great.
Yeah. So honestly, it's now 70 million in funding.
Well, we can add a couple more. If you just give me some information and we can add some more dollars onto that as well.
I can definitely do that. Yes, I can.
And so, you've helped so many nonprofits and small businesses to secure, as you said now, over $70 million in funding. So what do you believe is the biggest mistake that organizations make when it comes to securing financial sustainability?
Oh my goodness. So I help for-profit as well as nonprofit organizations. So I'm actually on both sides. The biggest problem is most businesses do not have their paperwork in order.
Okay.
And they do not understand the dynamics when it comes to grant funding. So the dynamics with grant funding is three things. One of them is there a problem in the community? It has to be a problem. Are you the solution to the problem? And the one where we always fail is, what do you need? We are unable to tell grant funders what we need. We tell them what we want, but they want to know what you need. So let me break that down a little bit. When you're seeking grant funding, you're seeking a program. You're creating a program, a cohort, not providing a service. Because if you're providing a service, funders are not interested. They want to see, like I said, is there a problem in the community? Now, if your business is community-based, you should already know what's going on within your community, because that's what the funders want to see. What we do is we want to give them, like I always say, when you're baking a cake, we want to just put the pretty icing on the cake, but we don't want to tell everyone the ingredients that goes with the cake to make sure the cake tastes great and all that. We fail to tell the funders how much knowledge and understanding we have within our community, where we see that there's a problem, but we have created a program which is the solution to the problem. And then another problem is when we're completing our grant applications, even when we're writing our grant proposals, we never tell the funder what is our impact, but what is the outcome. And last, guess what? Budget. We don't understand what our budget is. So when the funder says, what do you need? Well, if you have not put together your budget for the year and you have not put a budget together for your program, how do you expect the funders to understand what you're attempting or what you're wanting to do? And to be perfectly honest and transparent, these are the three simplest things that we have made so complicated.
Yeah.
So we don't know the difference between a service and a program. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am. So event planning is a service. So how would you incorporate event planning as a program? When you have galas, that's a service.
Right.
A gala is not a program. So
Right.
Programs is educational, whether it's for the youth, young adults. Programs is transitional housing, because now you're looking to get transitional homes, but within the transitional home, you're going to have different programs, because what you're looking to do is rehabilitate people. So it has to be a lucrative
Or something.
Yes, workforce development, mental health awareness. So we always have to keep in our mind, it's a program, not you're providing a service.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
I could see where people would get thrown off.
Oh, you get thrown off quickly, because honestly, it's like, I have an idea, but is it a lucrative idea?
Yes. Because you can have a good idea, but it's no money in it.
It's no money in it. And number two, what we all need to look at, everyone out there in this beautiful world, is funders don't want to do the work. They rather pay you to do the work, but they want to look good. So They don't want to send their people out there. So since you're already active in the community and you're providing the services, that's an easy way for you to receive funding from them. And guess what? It's free marketing and advertisement, because the funder, which could be an organization or a foundation, they're going to put your information on their website.
Right. And then while we're doing the programs, we use their name.
You use their name, because what they're going to want to know is, what are we getting out of it? Exactly. Advertisement.
We're getting goodwill in the community.
Exactly.
Yes.
So those small little things, like I said, we tend to kind of overlook that, but we always look at the big picture. And the big picture is, for example, AT&T just had a grant for $50,000. What we need to do, everyone, is always go to the frequently asked questions, because in the frequently asked questions is going to tell you exactly what that organization is looking for. So, for example, if I'm into electronics, I can't apply to AT&T, because AT&T is looking for problems within the community with minority-based businesses. So when you're looking for grants, always research the frequently asked questions, because your mission statement has to match the funder's mission statement. So I always hear small businesses say, well, I applied for this grant, but I didn't get it. But why? Did you read? Because funders will tell you exactly what they're looking for and what they want. And as you write in your grant proposal, give them their accolades. So in your small blueprint, as you're putting your application together or your proposal, let them know you've done your research on them. And when you do your research, you can say that I understand that you helped ABC organization who was helping the youth and young adults with homelessness. You were able to fund them X amount of dollars. They want to see that you're actually doing your research.
Yeah. And again, it makes sense, because they're giving you money and you are their basic eyes and ears in the community.
Yes.
And they're picking you because you either live there, you work there, you have some type of connection to these people that they want to reach. So they're using you as a SME. Yeah. Yeah, you're the expert, and they're using you to get into the community. So
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
I think we have to understand what is a grant. So what is a grant?
Well, a grant is, can I tell you guys the easiest way, the most easiest, simplest way to do it? Because I know when you're doing your research, I hear it's complicated, it's a lot. It's not. A grant proposal is nothing but a business plan. Now I'm gonna break it down where I'm gonna make it even easier for you. So when you go to a dealership, they give you two things. They give you keys to the car, but they also give you an owner's manual. So when you're writing your grant proposal, you're writing the owner's manual for your organization. At the dealership, you know that owner's manual is about this thick, but it'll tell you what light bulb you need to do to change your lights. It'll tell you your ignition switch, anything. It tells you everything it is about your vehicle. Well, the grant funder wants to know the exact same thing. They want to know everything about your organization. Right. And that's the most easiest way I can explain it, where people tend to understand. You're writing your own owner's manual.
Right. And what you're doing is you can get money to facilitate whatever it is this company that's giving you the grant, what they want to happen in the community. So you don't come out of your pocket with it.
They never want you to come out your pocket, and you should never want to come out your pocket.
That's right.
That's the key thing to success. You always, as they say, OPM, other people's money. You always want to utilize other people's money. However, when it comes to funding, the funder doesn't want to read that you're only using ABC Corporation for funding. When it comes to grants, it's 7 streams of income. And that's what you also have to include in your grant proposal, that you're looking for donors, corporate sponsors, in-kind donations. You're doing fundraising. They want to be able to hear and read everything. Also, keep in mind, the grant funder is reading thousands of grants.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they already know what they're looking for. They know the language. They know the terminology. They also know when you're using Chat GPT. And I call her Chat Patricia because that's what she is to me. She's Chat Patricia. So what we have to do, and here's the thing, I'm not against it, but you will have to sign off on an affidavit, and they will check it through Zero GPT. So now they want to see, are you telling the truth? Are you allowing AI incentive write your grant proposal? And like I tell all my clients, you are the best author. You are the author of this. Mm-hmm. They want to hear the compassion from you. Why did you decide to go into business? Why did you form your nonprofit? Why are you wanting to be active in the community? Chat Patricia doesn't have any feelings or emotions.
No.
Chat Patricia gonna give you statistics, but then now you have to research to make sure it's correct.
That's right, because statistics can be wrong.
100% wrong.
100% wrong.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh no, I'll just turn this in. This will be okay. And it's like, no.
They have a team. Let me tell you. Even though you're so happy, you're 100% excited about submitting your grant proposal, but they have a team. You know what that team consists of? They're going to look on your website. How effective is your website? Now, you say that you're active in the community. They're going to check all your social media platforms. That's Instagram, that's Facebook, it's TikTok, LinkedIn. You're supposed to be putting information. What type of information are you reporting? What information are you putting out on social media where the funders will feel comfortable to be able to even give you funding?
Yeah. And they're looking at all of that.
Yeah, they look at everything.
And even your lack thereof.
Yes.
I've seen where some people might go through and say, well, I want to change up. So now I need to delete my profile because I did too much stuff. So deleted profile is not good.
No. And everything needs to match all the way across the board. You have to have an address. You have to have a telephone number. They're now requiring you to have a professional email address. You cannot say, I am diamond1@gmail.com. That is not going to work. If you're providing professional services, they're expecting you to have a professional email address with the 411 listing. They're going to do a Google search to even see if they can find you through 411. And that's where we tend to fail too. The grant funder is not able to locate you. And a lot of us will have all these beautiful, nice social media pages, but you don't have not one address.
And you know, I think there is, even when you start your business, it's so much behind the scenes that you need to take care of, such as social media, getting addresses, getting phone numbers, all of that. That a lot of people just are so interested in, you know, let's say if I bake cakes for a living, I'm interested in baking those cakes. But if you take care of the other stuff, you'll be able to pay people to bake some cakes for you.
Exactly. Now, when we say bake cakes, how is that healthy?
Yeah. And I mean, you know, we can be vegan cakes for the kids.
Vegan cakes, yes.
Or, you know, anything like that, whatever that grant funder is looking for. Then, you know, because when they send out an RFQ, a request for a proposal, they're telling you what I'm looking for.
They're telling you exactly what they are looking for, but we overlook that. We look at the amount that they're going to be awarding, and then we get excited. We get our team together. We submit the proposal or the letter of intent. We get extremely upset. We did not get qualified to go to the next level, but guess what we failed to do? Read all the information.
Yep. Reading is fundamental.
Reading is fundamental. Also, having a team is fundamental. Yeah. So you cannot say that you're seeking $50,000 and you are the only sole person that is within the organization, because a funder is going to be like, well, who's doing marketing? Yep. Who's in your CFO? Where's your budget? Oh, I'm doing everything. Well, how could you possibly be doing everything? So now they already know you just fabricated a whole grant proposal. You need a team. That's another thing. Nonprofit organizations, you need a team. You need board members, active board members. You can no longer hire your friends. The funders want to see how active are your board members? How active are you having board meetings? Where's your policies and procedures? Because the higher up you go with your grant funding, they're going to want to see.
Yeah.
Are there policies and procedures implemented? What does your corporate bylaws look like? Do you even have in your corporate bylaws that you're seeking grant funding? Or did you just go get a standard corporate bylaws that, you know, Google or Yahoo or whatever? Did you update your corporate bylaws that goes in agreement with your organization?
And see, I think what people don't understand is there are a lot of tools out here.
A lot
of tools that will help you get started, or conversation starters, but they are not the end all be all. And I think that's where people get stuck. They're like, oh, I can get this to do that. And it's like, no, that helps you if you get stuck, you know, you get an idea, there you go. But, you know, a lot of it, well, I'm looking for that to do it all for me.
Yeah. We're spoiled. We are what we consider a microwave society.
Yeah.
We're so used to pushing the button and it does everything for us.
Absolutely.
We're not used to doing the work.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we don't want to do the work. And another thing is, when you are active in the community, you need community partners. Yeah. Youth and young adults, it's the YMCA, the YWCA, the school district, the superintendent. You have to provide community partners. So what am I telling everyone? Get in contact with your mayor. Get in contact with your city council. Let them know they need you just like you need them.
That's right. That's right. Because you're the grassroots.
You're the grassroots, yeah.
Yeah, you the boots on the ground.
You're the boots on the ground. So you can't say you're community based if you're not partnered with any community organizations. Your chamber of commerce.
Yeah.
Partner with them, because guess what? They can give you a letter of recommendation, a letter of support. That's strong with your grant proposal as well. But we have to want to be active and engaged in the community. You invite them to your event. They're going to come stay 10, 15 minutes, but you got a photo. You can put it on your social media. It works.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so go ahead.
And the great thing about that, go ahead.
Well, you talking, Monique? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead.
How you doing, Monique? Good to have you here.
I am well.
Monique, how do you find funders?
Well, I find funders different ways. As we all see what's going on with the government right now, I try to steer away from federal funding. I really, really do. I look for private foundations like the Ford Foundation, like the Gates Foundation. And the reason why I look for those foundations is because they don't want to be found. They don't want you to know that they're actually providing funding. And the process is much simple and it's a lot easier. But is it strenuous? Absolutely. But with those organizations, you can request funding. You give them an audited report. Guess what they'll do? They'll continuously provide you with funding.
Yeah, that works.
Private foundations is the route to go. Like I said, as you see what's going on with the federal government right now. And hear me out. I'm not against anyone that is seeking to do federal contracts. I mean, they're time consuming. You're going to wait. I'm going to just say that. But the private foundations is basically your go-to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, our go-to right now is a song.
Okay.
So we're going to go to a song, and this will be Eddie Ball Trip, and who was a guest not that long ago on our show. And when we come back, we will be with Monique Iverson. She is giving us some great information on how to get that money, If you are a small business, if you are a nonprofit, or if you're for profit, grants and everything else is out here. And she's giving us all the information. So if you know someone who has a small business, take the time while we're on this short break, get them online so that they can get their questions answered.
Absolutely.
While we're doing that, we'll go away to this song and we'll be right back after this.
With all of the pressure and the pain that's going on in our world right now, here's some hope for you. Come on, family. Like the ship that's lost and drift. Battered by adversity. Preach. When the storms of life are raging, the winds are blowing, and the fury falls on me. I wonder why. Feeling like I'm gonna lose my mind. This race so hard to run. But then I begin to speak to my soul. Weak sometimes, but know that every detail of our lives is working into something good, for the Lord is making a way out of no way. What you got to say, one? Bobby. Even in this worldwide pandemic, my soul gets a little weak sometimes. Listen, y'all, but when every time I try to do the right thing, evil's breath on every encouraging my soul, and I tell my soul to be patient. Yeah, come on, yo. Yeah, for God is gonna turn it around for my good. All you gotta do, it's gonna work in my favor. Yeah, sometimes you gotta tell yourself, man. Yeah. Sopranos, what y'all got to say? About to take it to another level. If I could just encourage you right now, that your protests have not been in vain. For God is gonna turn that thing around. Come on and put those hands on it. Come on, the Jew. Ooh, come on, everybody, yeah. Praise the Lord, oh. So praise Him. Lift your voice, give God the glory. Come on, we about to take this thing up another level. I feel my help coming, y'all. Come on, altos, where y'all at? It's in my wake season that I've become stronger. You see, I was built for this. I believe in God. Go ahead and give it glory. Lift your voice and say hallelujah. His love is worthy. Give the Lord glory. Lift him up higher. Praise Him. Praise the Lord. Where my fellas at? I know y'all got something to say. For his resume declares that he'll come through every time. Somebody need to make a move right here. Why don't you try him? I can guarantee that there is no failure in him. Oh, we ain't done up in here. Where y'all at? Now come on and walk it out. That's it. That's it. I tried him, y'all. And I found out he'll never let you down.
Okay.
You ain't changing your mind now, have you?
We're about to be one big happy family.
I'm just hoping I can trust you to return my love.
I mean, as much as I know how to love.
Did you sleep with him?
No!
This is toxic.
Don't become the thing that hurt you.
And what is that?
Bitterness.
I really needed you when Daddy died.
Girl, look, there you go with what you need. This not about you. Didn't you find God for that? I'm not here to meet your needs.
I understand that you love her. I get it. But like this, right here, this is toxic. Toxic? Man, who's you talking to like that?
And we're here at the Davidson High School for the first game of the season.
Look, I'm sorry, sir, but we will all run it for our lives.
Hope you enjoy being used, man.
Man, what? No. You better find someone else to play with, bro.
Come right. You both know you ain't about to hit nothing but a high note. You better sit down.
My Bible tells me that the wages of sin is death.
That's wages, honey, not wedges.
I know what it says, Miss Sunday School teacher.
I see that one is coming to the altar.
Now is the time.
Singing and praying with my mind.
Cut.
How you gonna cut singing and praying?
All right. And we are talking about nothing but the legacy. And you want to be there for that. And we are having a private screening on Saturday, November the 15th, for 100 of WVTC's Detroit's closest friends will be at that premiere. And there is a link that is in the chat. And there's also a link on the WVTC Detroit page. So feel free to go there, get your tickets. There are only 100 tickets. So, and when they're gone, you have to go to another showing. So make sure if you want to come with us and be the first people on your block to see this exciting movie, and WVTC, oh, wrong side, WVTC is in the movie. So you want to come and see it. So on the 15th, yes, Brenda said, I have got to see this movie. And yes, you do. You have got to see this movie. All right. We are here with none other than Monique Iverson, who is a small business consultant, and she's been telling us about grants, how to get some money to help fund your business. And she's even given us some tips on some of the things that she sees that people are doing incorrectly. And if we could just change a few things, we probably have a little bit more money flowing in our community. So we are here. And just Monique, you're deeply connected into the minority-owned businesses. What are you seeing in entrepreneurship within the inner city communities right now?
You're on mute.
Yeah, you're on mute.
She's off. She's off. She's
I
off.
got you now. I hear you now.
Oh, okay. So I wanted to kind of reiterate on your question. You want to see like what's the biggest struggle, or
yes, what are you seeing in the urban areas in the community? Are people number one, are they applying for grants? Do they even know to apply for grants? And then are they applying and missing them, or are they applying and getting them?
It's more of they are applying for the grants, but not understanding the dynamics of the grant and how the function and the flow of the grants. Like I had mentioned earlier, they're looking at what the grant funding is and assume that their organization qualifies for the grant when theoretically it doesn't. So what you have to do is you have to do your research, because one thing we call it mission match matrix. So your mission has to match the mission of the funder. If the two missions don't match, you don't qualify for their funding.
You just don't.
You just don't. But we look at how much that funder is going to provide in funding, and we assume that our organization qualifies for the funding when theoretically it does not.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and we need to get all of that together before we go in. A lot of people are not aware of what their business really does. Let's say if I bake cakes, well, do you bake cookies too? Well, sometimes. I don't know. I haven't tried, but I got an oven. So they really don't understand what they do provide and what they can provide.
Exactly.
So I think everyone needs to look at their business and then look at a grant maybe and see how I can fit in there. How I can use what I have here to fit in with what they want and provide what they want to get out of that grant.
Exactly. Prime example. You're talking about cakes. That's baking. Famous Amos has a foundation. They provide grant funding once a year. So you really would have to do your research on organizations solely for anything that you're doing in the baking cakes, baking pies. No matter what, they do have foundations and organizations that only provide funding such as that. So then you have two things you're doing. Are you baking from home, or do you have a brick and mortar? are you looking to come out of your home to get a brick and mortar? So you have to think past what you have to tell to yourself, what is the funder actually looking for? Because if you're baking from home, but you're putting in your grant proposal that you're doing a great job financially, what do you need? Are you looking to expand?
Right. And if they're asking for, okay, the school needs 50,000 cookies a week, and you're saying I'm baking from home, can you handle that, ma'am?
Can you handle that?
Yeah.
What type of transportation do you have? So now you got to think out the box. Do you necessarily need a brick and mortar, or would you be able to rent a location that would allow you to go in to do your baking, but now you need a van? You can't put everything in the back of your car, in the trunk of your car, and the back seat.
And I think it's once we get there, even in the thought process, going down, answering these questions in our heads, that's when a lot of people say, I'm out the game.
You're out the game.
I'm out the game. Because they don't know how to think outside the box.
No.
You know, and it's, well, I only wanted to bake cookies at my house, so this is too much. So I'm out the game. Instead of perhaps saying, what if I get a partner? You know,
because you cannot do it alone. You just cannot. We have a I and me mentality versus a us and we.
Yes.
You need a team.
Yes.
And that's what they want to see.
Yeah.
Who's on your team?
Yep. And once you get that, let's say, you know, because you got to put your corporate hat on.
You do.
I'm not just helping one group now, I'm helping two groups. So I not only get that one group's community, I get two groups community involved in this process. And I'll get, the company is thinking, I'll get what I need out of the community. So
exactly.
Yeah.
You're 100% correct.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Monique, I was just going to say, I'm glad to be part of your workshop class that you're offering. And could you explain how you are partnering with the community through your workshop grant writing, and describe your facilitation style?
So I decided to partner with the Black Chamber of Commerce of Inland Empire here in Southern California. I actually presented a proposal to the president founder because I attended a lot of chamber functions, but I'm like, we're not talking about financial literacy. We're not talking about grant funding, but as you're networking, you're hearing the problems that small businesses are facing. So I offered to do a 1-year grant workshop, absolute for the members, it's free. Non-members, it was $25. And it was a series because it's a 10-part step to getting grant funding. So I did it from the mission statement all the way down to the budget. So within the grant workshops that I host, I made them relatable. I provided examples. We did walkthroughs. I wanted to make sure that any person that attended the grant workshops, they walked away with a lot of knowledge and understanding. I gave away a lot of marketing material. As everyone knows, if you get on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever, everybody's charging for something. And for me, I don't believe everything comes with a cost. It's just some things that's just minor, that's simple, that people need to have, that they need to use. But I also gave them key and relatable words that you need to put in, like your mission statement, your vision statement, even your statement of need. I basically broke everything down where it was relatable, where they were able to understand. Because like I had mentioned before, when you do your research, when it comes to grants, it's a lot. It does become overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know, most people get frustrated. They don't understand it. Yes, it's a lot of work, but once you understand the dynamics and the details of it, it does become easy. But it's not just you writing the grant. It has to be you and a team. That's why I keep saying you have to have a team. It just cannot be just solely you, because my thoughts and your thoughts is not going to be the same.
No.
But you're going to be able to provide a little bit more information that I didn't even think about. And that's how it works, because somebody's going to think out the box. You definitely need a no person on your team. You do not want all yeses. You need that one person that's going to say no and allow you to think outside the box. And that's what I always explain in my grant workshops, because you got to keep in mind that's you versus 50 to 100 people that's seeking funding. So how can you think out the box? You know how you think out the box? Study your competition. When you look at your competition, and sometimes they have events, go by there. You always want to see what your competition is doing versus what you're doing, because your competition, if they're successful, you want to see how they're successful. And if they are successful, then you go back to your team and say, hey, went over to ABC's event. They're doing all of this. They're looking at the audience engagement. Those things help you when you're writing your grant proposal, because you have to let the funder know. And this is what I hear all the time. Well, no one's out here doing what I'm doing. That's not true.
There's
I'm the only one.
Nothing new under the sun.
Yeah. So that means you have not done your research. And I hear that a lot. Nobody, I'm the only one. No, you're not. You're not.
Nah.
But you're so afraid to go to an event that you and your competition, you guys can even partner together sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I did say community partnership. Funders want to see, who are you partnering with?
Yep.
And that's a huge problem of ours.
Yeah. And you know, I'm going to kind of slide off there for a minute.
Okay.
You built multiple businesses, the document exchange and consulting services and second chance tax service. What drives you to create new ventures rather than focus on just one? Is it the multiple streams of income, or is it just why don't you just focus on just one business?
Clients and their needs and the problems that they're facing. So because of that, it allowed me to form Second Chance Tax Services, because I believe when it comes to taxes, we don't like the O, but we all deserve a second chance. But I would always hear horror stories about their CPA or their tax preparer, because I have to look at your financial documents. And once I review your financial documents, I'm going to start asking questions. And you're like, I don't know. I just give my paperwork to my tax preparer and they just do it. No, that's not what your tax preparer is supposed to do. If you have a tax preparer, you're paying that tax preparer not only to file your tax returns, but to explain to you the reasons they came up with how your tax returns were prepared. So because of that, it just allowed me to just add another element to my business. Now, I just don't solely do grants. I just want to let everybody know that I also do SBA loans. I do business lines of credit. I do corporate credit. So I'm just all around the whole element of it. But it was honestly the clients and their needs and the services that they were not getting. So when it came to business lending, I became the middle person between the client and the lender. So what I would do is review your paperwork, and then I provide consultation services to you and tell you this, the reasons why you're not getting approved for this loan is because, one, you're not understanding your profit and loss statement and balance sheet. Even though your business revenue was great, but your net income, you had a negative net income. But you're looking for the funder to give you $150,000. It's not going to happen.
Right. And they're not going to supply your business.
No, they're not.
No, they're paying for what they want you to do. They're not funding your business.
Yes, ma'am. So because of that, this is why we need business management and the knowledge. Exactly. Yes, Miss Brenda. So that's the reason why I have my Partners Financial Services is the nonprofit. Document Exchange and Second Chance Tax Services are the for-profits.
So now, your work in the grant, going back to the grant writing, nonprofit funding strategies is transformed organizations. So can you share a success story where funding not only helped an organization survive, but it allowed them to thrive?
Oh my God, I have several. So let me see which one. I have a doctor that's located in Chicago. So let me let everyone know I provide funding across the United States, not just
That's good to know.
in
That's
California. So this was a heart surgeon, and he solely he was a heart surgeon. So that just was the gist of his business. But one of his passion was the youth and young adults that were actually being rushed to the hospital that OD. That was his main thing. So I taught, his name is Dr. Geha. I had a conversation with Dr. Geha. I said, Dr. Geha, why don't you form a nonprofit organization? So Dr. Geha was like, I deal with heart patients. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't understand it. So I had to explain to him, you're very smart. You're extremely intelligent. You've given me a lot of tools and resources where we can provide now a nonprofit organization that you will be able to have facilities that would be able to help the youth and the young adults get off the streets, where you would be able to give them treatment. So when we did his first grant, it was for, $50,000, which was great because he was able to purchase, like we call them group homes. So he was able to purchase group homes. We were able to get therapists in there. We were able to get medical providers into the facility. Yes, he started off with 10 youth. And by the time because it was like a 90-day program at that time, he was able to clean them up. They were able to go. Yes, he was able to clean them up. They were able to go back to school. They were able to graduate. They went to college, and they're all doing great. So he saw how. Exactly. So I had been working with Dr. Geha for 10 years. 10 years. And about 6 months ago, we just closed his grant. I think it was for $2.5 million, because now he has 6 group homes where he's literally helping the youth clean up their habits. So that's my biggest success. He's my longest client. Thank you.
Wow, that's outstanding. And I mean, and again, the organization wanted to see the neighborhood cleaned up, or people off drugs, or whatever it was. And then he was able to help to facilitate that.
He was. Yes.
So they gave him money to do that.
And one of the things that was very disturbing to him was it was more youth in the morgue than it was adults.
That's sad.
And that was very sad. That just hurt him.
So, and what I see, just like even with that, it looked like he struggled for a while with getting the funding to connect the finances with the community impact. So how do you bridge the gap between dollars and real tangible change?
Research. You have to do your research. And that's what I was able to do with Dr. Geha. Remember, he's a heart surgeon, but he saw the problem with drugs in Chicago. So it just allowed me, it actually helped because he had been a heart surgeon for over 40 something years. Wow. So because he had the history of being a medical provider, that was easy for me to be able to write the grant for him at that time when we did an initial beginning. So he had the history. He knew what was going on in the hospitals and through emergency and things like that. So when we decided to, create the group homes and provide, mental health awareness when it comes to drug and addiction, then that's how it just came together all the way across the board.
So who needs to be a small business? Who is a small business? Some people are like, I can't be no small business. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. I they don't know. So who is a good person to start a small business? What do you need to have to start?
Heart and compassion and wanting to make a change.
Right. That makes sense.
It comes from here. It comes from the heart. Because think about it. Anytime you go somewhere and something is not right, where did it come from? It came from your heart. That's not right. You're not doing that right. Yeah. And then the first thing you say, but you know what? If they would have done this, then it would have worked. So it literally comes from the heart, because guess what? God has birthed it in you. It's been birthed in you. He wants you to now take it from here. You know, we have to sow our seeds because that's what the Bible say. You gotta sow your seeds so it can be fruitful. But it comes from the heart. So once it comes from the heart, that means that you see that that was a problem. That was a problem. That was something that just edged you that you did not like. So then now what you want to do is you want to fix the problem.
And you know, and that will lead you to doing something that you don't even mind doing for free.
Exactly, because you're not putting a price tag on it. You just want to help.
Passion.
I want to be a better person. Yes. That's why I said it starts here from the heart.
You're exactly right. Richard and Teresa.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question about types of grants. Now, do grants, people who give grants, are they, do they do like something for religious purposes, or do they stay away from that? Do they?
Yes. So with religion, there are grants in that area. Now, here's the thing. When you mention religion, always keep in mind churches are automatically community-based.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what we tend to forget, even though we use the word ministry, but it's still community-based. There's more grants in religion than it is for any other organization. But we hear the word, well, I'm a church, I'm in ministry. Well, ministry to a funder is a program because it's children's ministry, youth ministry, women's ministry. They're still programs.
And then you look, what do they have? Family life centers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you're what? Helping the community.
You helping the community because what we do, well, they say church is for sick people. When we have problems, we have issues, where do we go? We're going because we want to be healed, delivered. That's why we go to church.
Yep.
So
and you can have your mental health classes, your grief classes, all of that, and use the church as the base.
Use the church. So the thing about that is you have the church, that's the organization, but you need to have the community development center because you want to separate the two. Most churches want to keep them together. You're not supposed to. Yeah. Even though most churches are not even required to have a 501c3 issue, from the IRS. However, you still have to separate the two. All the money doesn't go into one pocket. You have to show this is ministry, church-based, but this is community development. Yes. That's where we lack with our churches because they want to keep everything together, but you cannot. That's two separate entities, and it should be two separate fundings.
Yeah, and that's why you'll see some churches, they may have, just their church name, and then they may have something like the Samaritan's Purse.
Yes.
And that's their community outreach.
That's the community outreach. Exactly.
That's kind of what I wanted to know.
Servant arms at our church, and it's a separate from the church, but church people are doing the work. So it seems like St. Stephen is doing it, but we have to keep it separated.
You have to keep it separated for bookkeeping and accounting purposes as well.
Yeah.
You do.
Yep.
I was going to ask, some people were probably inspired today to start a 501c. Where do you get information, or is there a manual to help you start your 501c?
You can go to the IRS website.
Okay.
So first, before you establish the 501c3, you got to establish the corporation name, which means you have to go to your local state of the state. I want to say state of California because I'm in California, but you got to go to your state website and look up that name because that name could be taken.
Yes.
Or the name could be similar to another business or organization. So you basically you have to start there. You have to go to your state website and make sure that name is available. And then if it is available, then you do register the business as a nonprofit. Now, however, it's a nonprofit. It has not been ordained as a 501c3. That's what and that's what people tend to get confused. So once you register it, You get your articles of incorporation. Of course, then you apply with the IRS to get your tax ID number. Then you decide to apply for the 501c3. So there's two forms. It's the long form and it's the short form. We like to do the 1023-EZ. But with the 1023-EZ, you're basically telling the IRS that your business is going to have revenue less than $50,000. We like to do that one because it's more affordable. It's $279 versus doing the long form, which is $600. So you have to have your board or your team where you sit down and decide. Once we do go into business, we form the business name with the articles of incorporation. Where is the budget? How are you going to put your budget together? So that is extremely important. And I see a lot of businesses doing that. They want to do the 1023-EZ because it's affordable. However, if you're looking to do anything in education, medical, you have to complete the long form. If you complete the 1023-EZ, the IRS will reject it. How I know? I had a client, the name of their business was Sobertown Podcast, located in Tennessee. They were a substance abuse center. They didn't have medical providers, but it was a substance abuse center. I applied for the 1023-EZ. The IRS held it up because they needed us to send them information to provide proof that it's not a medical facility. So you have to be extremely careful because the IRS is coming down really, really hard on how you're structuring your business, also how you wording your business.
Yeah. Words matter.
Words matter.
Yep. Teresa, I know you had do you have a question? Seems like you were trying to get in.
Yeah, my question was, as far as kinds of grants, you've got a school, say, for instance, that's applying for a grant. I mean, is the school considered an organization, a program, or a service?
It all depends. What type of school? Is it private? Is it public?
Private.
Okay. So what type of funding would the school need? Because when you mention schools, it all depends on what's needed. So if you say you need laptops, you need iPads, well, you don't need a grant for that. You need what is called an in-kind donation, where you can reach out to Apple, you can reach out to Dell. So you got to be very specific when you mention, like you said, schools. So would it be like an after-school program? Where you're helping, parents that are not able to pick up their children from school, like at 2:20, but they don't get off till 4 or 5 o'clock. So with your after school program, what are you going to be providing? Of course, tutors, but are you going to also be providing meals? So you got to be very specific as far as what type of program are you offering? Not only what type of program, what type of curriculum. Because you're going to have the overachiever student, and then you're going to have the student that's going to need more hands-on. So you have to be extremely specific in that area. But yes, there's grant funding for that as well.
Okay. All right.
So this is my last question before we do our wrap up.
Okay.
Leadership and mentorship are core to your work. What's the best piece of advice you've given or received that you believe every small business owner should hear?
Build your brand, create your image, which will elevate your success. Because when you're out every day, you are your own brand. And people are only going to remember you because of your image.
Yep. You're so right.
Right?
That's right.
You really got to hit that mark. I think we probably need to carry this conversation on some more because we've only kind of scratched the surface. And I know there are a lot of people out there that want to be in business. They don't know how to be in business. Now, since you've got a lot of people, even if they've gone to business school, just coming back and actually doing it, they're like, oh no, and they get overwhelmed, and that's it. And it appears that in this economy, in the next few phases that's going on, we're going to need to be our own boss.
You do. Honestly, you really do. Yeah.
Because you don't know really what's going to happen. So you need to be able to have multiple streams of income.
Multiple streams of
one brook dries up, you can still have some other things coming through until we get that brook growing back up again. So it's so much that we can talk about how to start a business. Why should I start a business? Or is it just okay for me to just bake cakes and take them to work? I was talking to my financial advisor, and he said he went into the strip club.
Did he?
Yeah. And he said, all of you all are small, y'all contractors, y'all small business owners. So you need to get you something. So when you can't climb up that pole no more, at least you'll have something, in your purse. So, it's people are confused about what a business is.
Is it a business or is it a dream? You got to know the difference between the two.
Yes. And I mean, if you're providing this service, you already doing it. It's not a dream. It's a reality.
It's a reality. Yes.
And you're not getting the credit with the IRS or with anybody else in order to facilitate your business. This is very interesting to me. Very, very interesting to me. I see a lot of people all the time that I know should be in business, but they don't have a clue how to get started, and they don't think that they're that small business person.
And the great thing about that, and this is the thing, you can always go to your local small business development center. They have people there that will help and assist you at no cost.
Wow.
You just have to do your research. There are organizations that have received grant funding to be able to help you get your business established. We just have to come out of our comfort zone and go get the help. It's free, but we don't want to utilize these free resources. But think about it. Those resources receive grant funding because they want to be able to help the community, someone such as yourself. So utilize the services. But the great thing about it is they're going to set your corporation, your business will be set up correctly.
Yes, exactly. That's great information. Go beyond yourself.
Go beyond yourself.
Talk to an expert. And there are free experts out here that they're looking for you.
They're looking for you.
Because they're fulfilling a grant too. And they have probably said, well, we can reach 50 people. Well, they're wanting you to be one of the 50 to come in.
They have to have a report. They have to report back to the funder to say within this quarter, we were able to service X amount of customers. So they have work that they have to do as well.
They looking for you.
They looking for you. But it's free.
Free. That's awesome. We'll do our round robin, Teresa, and then we'll have Richard, and then Monique. We'll let you have closing remarks for this this session. And will you come back? Because I didn't even get to half of these questions on this page.
Yes, I will.
Always has one. She always has a page full of stuff to ask.
If you guys will have me back, yes, I will come back.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We just want to again thank you for being here. And it just having a business is no easy chore. It is not for the faint of heart. And just basically hearing what you were saying today, you've got to have brain as well as brawn per se. You've got to have somebody who's got the vision and somebody who has the know-how to put things together. So in that case, it's like, you have to have a partnership. But business, you have to really be a thinker to me. And you was a little overwhelming, the things that you were talking about, but you're 100% right. You've got to be detail oriented
You do.
to do that. But if you are, or you have somebody who is, then you'll be successful, I think. But it does take a lot of work, and so those of you who are out there doing that, just put the work in, and the Lord will bless your hands. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. It was a
And
pleasure.
again, I want to thank God for this opportunity. Thank you, Sandy Rose, for giving me the opportunity to be here with you and Teresa and Monique. Monique, thank you again for coming. Give a shout out to Deborah Barbers, our friend who has helped facilitate you being here.
She did.
Thank you. You really helped, and I hope you're having fun and that you would want to come back. It's great being in your class.
Yes, I will come back. Thank you guys for allowing me this time to be able to just give you a snippet. And again, I would love to come back, but I would love to give you a little bit more information. For example, you know, we've heard diversity, equity, and inclusion. I need you guys to write this down. So instead of saying diversity, equity, inclusion, you're going to change it to diversity, opportunity, and inclusion. So you never let them tell you what you cannot do. The one word that the Trump administration did not like was equity. So switch it out and put opportunity, because that means opportunity for everyone. There it is. Diversity, opportunity, and inclusion. If you incorporate that in your grant proposal, your grant application, you have grasped the eye of the funder. Because guess what? Your application is different from the other 500 that they're reading, because the one word they're going to like is you saying opportunity for everyone. You're not saying that they're underserved. You're not saying that they're under-resourced. You're not saying LGBT. You know why? Because you're putting a target on an audience.
Yeah.
And that's what they don't want. It should be for everyone.
Opened it up for everyone.
Opened it up for everyone.
Yeah. That's great. That is great. So how can people get in touch with you?
My number is 661-803-0232. And my email address is my first name, Monique, MONIQUE, at M as in Mary, I as in Ivory, Partnors, P as in Paul, ARTNORS.com. And if you send an email and say that you was a part of the Sandy Rose show, I will give you a 30-minute free consultation.
Woo! Y'all better call. Call me now.
And you have to say that.
You have to say what my name, as they say my name, say my name. So we will make sure that is on the screen. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, Monique, for all that you have done. We appreciate you. And stay tuned. We have another show that is coming on the Safe Space at 7:00. So stay tuned. Thank you so much, Monique. We'll be getting in touch with you so you can come back around and help us some more.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
And night.
Night.
Elder Rudolph Stanfield.
Okay.
You ain't changing your mind now, have you?
We're about to be one big happy family.
I'm just hoping I can trust you to return my love.
I mean, as much as I know how to love.
Did you sleep with him?
No!
This is toxic.
Don't become the thing that hurt you.
And what is that?
Bitterness.
I really needed you when Daddy died.
Girl, look, there you go with what you need. This not about you. Didn't you find God for that? I'm not here to meet your needs.
I understand that you love her. I get it. But like this, right here, this is toxic. Toxic? Man, who's you talking to like that?
And we're here at the Davidson High School for the first game of the season.
Look, I'm sorry, sir, but we will all run it for our lives.
Hope you enjoy being used, man.
Man, what? No. You better find somebody else to play with, bro.
Come right. You both know you ain't about to hit nothing but a high note. You better sit down.
My Bible tells me that the wages of sin is death.
That's wages, honey, not wedges.
I know what it says, Miss Sunday school teacher.
I see that one is coming to the altar.
Now is the time.
Singing and praying with my mind.
Cut!
How you gonna cut singing and praying?
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.